Hello everybody and welcome to Wise Exotics. This is video log 2024, January end, wrapping up the month of January. On these video logs I go over the good, the bad, what's going on, things of concern, things of note, that type of like. So I shifted all the Vechi toward the back. I put the Peltatas over here, I moved the plants around again, trying to find a spot that they're all really happy with. All of them have a lot of good growth and development. This one is getting more redder leaves. The only thing of concern I've noticed this morning is when I came out here, you can see this nice slime trails on this leaf, which means we probably have a slug has breached my little Nepenthes collection again. I honestly do not know how a slug is getting in this sealed glass room. And they're just slithering on in, and the last time one got in, it munched on my little macrophilia baby and tore it to shreds. So it is recovering, but I'm just very worried that now we have another one. I inspected all the plants. I don't see any plants being chomped on, so I don't know. The slime trail is very tiny, so it's probably a really tiny slug and it's not going to do too much damage, but if it just lives here and munches on these plants, it could be a problem. So I'm going to probably have to move all my plants out of my collection on the shelf and then check each shelf and area and probably clean while I'm at it. So that's a fun project to be coming in. Now down here I moved the Peltatas toward the front. This is 3464. I got this one from Josh's Carnivorous Plants quite a few years ago. Beautiful striping. This is its first fully developed picture for me. Josh did sell the mother plant, so he no longer has the specimen in his collection. Next to it is Peltata 4025, another variation of Peltata. I would love to get a yellow phantom just to see how it compares in growth and development, but that's a future thing. One thing of note is, so down here is a Glendiflora X Edwardsiana. Been doing quite well. I actually really wanted this hybrid ever since I saw one at Predatory Plants when I went there, but theirs was $400. So one thing that was note, mine is starting to get stripes, so this is going to be a phenomenal specimen to observe. Now, another thing of note is my Raja Peltata is doing quite well. You can also see the Raja Ima picture hiding in there and doing fine. But something to note about Raja Peltatas, especially the Borneo Exotics one, is unlike Leviathan, which are all seed grown, the Borneo Exotics is a random selection of clones. So the one I showed that was from Salty Trout, Tyler's, is one clone of a dozen plus that were released. So I also have another Raja Peltata right here. So it's anyone's idea what they're doing. Mine is close in size, maybe a little smaller than Tyler's, he said, but mine gets an extremely dark parasome with stripes. So some of them might get the Raja flare, some of them don't. It's kind of annoying because they should just sell a clone of the best looking specimen in my opinion, but they didn't. They sold a bunch of randomly selected clones that are within their collection. Yeah. So a lot of these Nepenthes needed a repot during the beginning of this week. They were starting to dry out, so I did repot them, and they're doing a lot better due to it. I don't know if the slug snuck in during that time or was hiding in there via whatever shenanigans, but that's one thing of note. So far as that slug trail has got me a little freaked. I don't know if that's an older slug trail that I just never noticed, but I don't recall it when I was repotting that plant this month, so anyone's guess. I am glad to see the Glendiflora get striped. That's kind of nice. The Vechi K1XM2 also has a nice new picture, doing quite well, very stout, nice flare. Vechi B, which is my smaller one, is just popped its newest picture, nice little stripes in that specimen. And then its big brother's or bigger sibling is over here developing a large picture. This one's pictures are about the same size as its pot, as you can see under the leaf, and it just threw this huge leaf, so I'm really excited to see how it's developing or what it will develop. K1, or not K1, Minima X Candy Dreams had a very nice picture. This is the B plant. Now compare it to the A plant, which had this beautiful candy striped, really intense striping, very deep stripes. I'm looking forward to that one growing really well. Quite a few of the plants are doing well. This is Valiant Beast from Predatory Plants, getting some nice pictures and stripes. I have 3 of these specimens, so they're all at least confirmed to have stripes, so there's that. I think the other ones are over in that corner, and then there was one over here somewhere. Yeah, right here. So this is the other one. Lovely Serpent is also doing quite well, getting some striping and ribbing. So this one will just be phenomenal as it develops. All the plants are doing quite well. I did move the Gracilis that's variegated right here because it was my plant. I came in here and it was almost dry as a bone and shriveling. If you see that, don't freak out. Just give it a bunch of water and it will pop back in a day or so. It's already back and healthy. It's been a week. But that's a scary thing to note when it occurs, so I'm just throwing that out there. If you do see a plant that's dry and you're worried about it, just give it a lot of water and then let it kind of reabsorb it. Mira down here, basil is doing quite well. If I recall, this is the Mira from Borneo Exotics. Yeah, BE3979. That is the confirmed female one. Same one Josh has, so that'll be nice to see. So if you want to see what this one looks like, go look at Josh's. Let's see. Quite a few of these specimens are doing well. Mira XVGI, I have a Spectabilis X Mira also. Never really getting crazy on that one. So this is a Globosca Ampullaria Black Miracle F2. This is number 3 in my collection. The other 2 have variegated red and one has stripes, one is more globe shaped. This one pretty much just looks like its mother plant. It looks just like a Globosca, so for the ancestral plant I should say, because it's a back cross. But it is mostly looks like a Globosca. I have this one for sale also. I did have my first plant sold, which was a Riso Expelii cutting. I sold one of the larger cuttings to someone in Texas. It arrived fine, no problems. I also sent them a gift plant for being my first customer, so there was that. No issues with the plant sale, and they're quite excited to see that plant grow and develop because they don't see very many of them. I have 2, so there's that. Let's see, so all of the tower ones are doing well. Clipieta X Lowii VGI had a bit of a picture reduction compared to its one prior, but usually in the winter months I see a lot of them get smaller pictures, but the leaves also shrink a bit and they go back to being big during the summer, so take it as you will. The plants develop and thrive in different times and different seasons. I did move the Ventricosa over into that corner. As you can see, it's got a nice big sea-grown red Ventricosa picture just popped. So it's quite happy there, so I'm going to leave it there. Let's see, AW1 Raja X Lowii VGI doing quite well. Very happy to see that one developing. Raja X Ima, you can see in the corner. Nice picture coming on RE042. And then the 24 one, I think, is right next to it, developing a bunch of big leaves and pictures. Clipieta X VGI. Clipieta X Ima X Lowii VGI is right here. It's the same one Remy from Windusel Nepenthes has. He has a much smaller seedling to my understanding. But mine tends to get hot pink and then turn red, which is kind of a cool aspect. Now, give me a second, and we're back. So up here, way up here, is my Queen Malini, which my cats chewed on. Of the growth tips, 2 of the leaves got shredded, so I was very unhappy with my cat, so I brought it back out here to its favorite spot, and it's thriving again, throwing out big happy leaves. Now we'll go over by the TV area. Okay, and we're back over by the area next to the TV. These are some of the plants that are up in this area doing quite well. My mangosteen hummer is doing quite well. Nice. The leaves are really weird. When they throw the leaves out, they're darker, reddish, and very weak and limp. Or these are kind of hard and not so pliable. This one's starting to develop. You'd think it wasn't happy, but they basically go from red to like a yellow, then a yellow to a green, which is a really cool aspect of that I wasn't expecting. Maxima's happy. It's got a nice picture node developing here. My Vivid Machine is all over the place over here. It's I got a new picture developing there, but it's other pictures of stripes and are doing quite well. This was the Belii Aristo that I took a cutting of and sold because they requested the smaller plant, and it has more basils growing. Oh my gosh. I just noticed that. If you look in there, there's a ton of little basils popping up after I did that. These two are probably the most basil prolific plants I have in my collection. So this taller specimen here is Aristo X Belii A specimen. So this is seed grown, this is seed grown. Both of them are doing quite well. But they are Belii X Aristocoloids, if I say that right, or funny, I'm sorry. Let's see. My African violets are doing nice. Begonias are quite happy. This one was trying to reach for the sun, so I just moved it over, so I want it to do well. These are about the same color begonias, so seems happy. This is another kind of African plant. It has these weird purple trumpets, doing well. My Ventrata seed grown is, as you can see, almost as bad as my Belii X Aristo. It's just growing like crazy. And I think it has a basil. That's why I've been wondering why it didn't picture, but it does have a basil, so I'll make a note of that. So that's new. Let's see. I know my Diabolica X Aristo, which is this plant right here, has a nice basil in there growing. Yep, basil's doing well. Hamada Aristo is right here. No basils. It is actually from a basil. The mother plant got damaged and died, but the basil actually is doing better than the mother plant, so take that as you will. Yeah, so that's all the ones up here. Now we're going to go into the fun tank setup. And now we're in the tank setup today. It's doing quite well in here. No issues. I know some people have asked me about the cephalotus. It's right there. I swear I did not get rid of it. You can see it's got quite a few pictures developing. Nice black ones. I do like my cephalotus. The seed-grown Drosera. I don't see any seeds popping up in there, so don't know if I succeeded. I haven't had any plants directly from seed have any luck with me, so there's that. Let's see. VCI striped eggs. Tennis is doing quite well. It threw a nice picture of some stripes in there. Sorry about that. Bird wanted some attention. Let's see. Truncata, Campulata, X VCI, X Song, and Melancholy, X Clipiata. Nice picture jump on that one. Now, this is a newer described species that was described last year, actually. I thought it was from the year prior. This is Nepenthes January. This was separated out from McFarlane and along with Eucalania or Eucalania, something like that. This, anyway, is Cerecia, which is a newer described from 2023. Next to it is Pudica. Pudica is a species from 2022 described. This is the underground trap Nepenthes. Supposedly there might be another Nepenthes that does also throw some traps underground. Started with another one with a P, but I have not heard of another one that throws underground traps besides Pudica. As you can see, this newer picture is quite a bit larger than the other ones in comparison. It's starting to get the nice redder purple coloring. So there's that. So it's doing quite well. Pudica is very slow to grow. So right next to it is my Albumerganata Red. It grows about as slow as that. And that should say something. That's a pretty slow growing highland or lowland species. So almost as bad as Northianus and Sumatra, but not as bad. As an example, here's my Northiana. Doing quite well. Very happy. My Sea Crown Northiana also doing quite well. Threw out a nice leaf. Quite a bit bigger on the picture side. This picture for some reason got buried by its own leaf, which is a very weird thing. I'm going to try to free it. But a lot of intense striping on that Northiana. Sumatrana is doing Sumatrana things, I would assume. It's got a nice happy leaf finally, and I trimmed it up so it's a little cleaner. My Naga is doing quite well. You can see that dark picture. This is one that I got from such a Nepenthes. I actually really like this one because it's got kind of ribbing with yellow ribs right now with red stripes in its teeth. If I can get it to turn up. This one is just phenomenal. And I love these little spade red leaves it has. I don't know why it has it, but I think it's really neat. This is an unknown Nepenthes. I'm not too sure what it is. Some thought it was Singulana X Ovada. Some thought it could have been Izume X something else. But anyway. Next to it here is my Raja, seed grown from Nepenthes God. Look at that picture. It finally did pop. It's bigger than the ones over here. So this is the Borneo Exotics. Some of these basils might be big enough for me to trim off. It's got like 4 of them now. The BE3152 Raja, just for whatever reason, basils like crazy. This is another plant I got from Mike. It's doing quite well. It had its first picture with me over there. Can't tell if it's getting too much water or what, but its newest leaf seems fine. I'll keep an eye on that because it's got some red speckles. So I'm not sure if it's red variegation, which if I get another one, someone's going to strangle me. I swear, like that one, nice. But this one is going to go more black from the looks of this. Anyway, I was happy to see my bicolatera finally got some fangs on it. Look at that. Nice and toothy. I've been waiting for that to get fangs, so I was really excited. It's got this almost like reddish strawberry pink coloration to it. A little orange in there too. The 3 Bongso siblings, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear, whatever you want to call them, large, medium, and small. 1, 2, and 3 are doing quite well. Getting darker pictures. 2 seems to have larger pictures. 3 seems to have larger leaves, but darker pictures. And 1 over there, that one over there, seems to be the smallest, the runt of the litter. But it's actually got a basil, I think. No, I think it's this one had a basil, but I don't know. No, this is the one with the basil. Yeah, there it is. So this one already has a basil and it has a larger picture. So that's interesting to note. Let's see, going down the line. Hamadas. Yeah, look at that. That one is doing just phenomenal. It is very happy. This is the Kendusisi Red Leaf Hamada, doing quite well in my collection. Cool. Next to it is the Lumit variant. This is AW4. This is my only confirmed male in my collection, to my knowledge. And then over here is its sibling Lumit, which seems to be losing its pictures, sadly. This is AW1 Hamada. Yeah, they keep their pictures for quite a while, but the Lumit tends to burn off and die off depending on things. I think it's drying out, so I think I need to add some more water in it. So there's that. Let's see. This is Raja X. I don't have the specimen tag around. Raja X Burgundy, doing quite well. This is from when they were called Native Exotics, but still Flora Collaborative. Got a picture developing there. This is another slow to grow. This is my Vicii, not Vicii. I don't know why I have Vicii in the brain. This is Lemon Cherry, which is Klombasa B11 X Klombasa X. It's a huge one, so I just call it Lemon Cherry. I have its information marked out. It's got another picture developing down here, but we just call it Lemon Cherry because it looks like a lemon and a cherry together, in my opinion. So I'm not very inventive with names, I'm sorry. My Velosa had a nice picture jump. Very nice. Macrophilia, this is a Sigrun one. We'll zoom in as much as we can. It seems to be developing quite well. Raja X Rob Raja X Rob, I can't lay eye, seems to be wanting to be friends with it. Let's move the picture away from it. Macrophilia Clone T is doing exceptionally well. It's already thrown out 2 pictures and it's on its 3rd. When I first got it, it seems it was a little stressed out, so the picture and the leaf shrank just a bit. But now we're getting a little bigger leaf on this one, so I'm hoping it will progressively do better. The Edward Sienna. Now, if you followed me and on Instagram and or check the post, after doing that video for the first How to Grow Nepenthes showing these, I actually dropped this plant. It was an accident. I slipped, I fell, I cracked my head on the whatever, but I wasn't hurt. Thankfully, I landed on a towel, and so did the plants, so nobody got hurt, no one had any damage, but it looks like right here, get a little nick out of the wing. So I'm hoping it didn't stress out the plant too much, but it's already throwing another leaf and pitcher. So Scarlet here is pretty durable. Good job, little Scarlet. Pet its little leaf lid. Nepenthes Diabolica. This one has been doing quite well. She's already got some other leaves. This is the only female confirmed in my collection of my plants, but this is the female Diabolica, AW4. Velosa Hamada is doing well. Nebularum has a nice leaf and picture over on this side. Very squat. Me and Josh were comparing it to his. His actually has a small basil right now. His from Mount Mayo. They're very similar, but mine's a little squatter. So I don't know if that's an adaptation or just some unique whatever of this one. The Robs I have are doing quite well. This one had a phenomenal picture. Throw out that my Loia is trying to be friends with. Remember, your plants, if you have them and they're tendrily, they all try to make friends with each other. Attenborough is doing quite well. Mariliana, the one from Greenwood Exotics, just threw out its first healthy leaf after whatever happened to the leaf tip fire. This plant has more issues with it occur, and then like it revives. So I'm gonna call this one Phoenix or something. It's just is so hardy at coming back from like near death all the time from whatever is occurring to it. Hose Mountain X Vichaibera. This one did have stripes on it. I was really happy to discover. This is one that a few people have really tiny seedlings of. Like they're just starting to get seeds, and mine is this big, so I'm really excited to see this one grow. This is Vichii Big Mama Pink Candy Cane, Clone 13, X Vichii Azukin X Barrio. So I know a few people are growing really tiny seeds of this. This one's from Mike's Little Oasis. This was the largest one developing, so I'm hoping to see it become a large, monstrous Vichii someday. But that's my own little whatever. All the plants in here are doing quite well. You can actually see another rocket ship, or that's what I call them, Rafflegiana exotica white plant ex Fukusua. An example picture of it is over there. It is a phenomenal Raff. I really do like this one. When I first got it, it was almost neon white, and then it's slowly been getting redder in its perisome. It gets almost black teeth at the top of it. But they look like little rocket ships, as an example. See, little rocket. So that's just me being silly. The one I got from Josh up here is doing quite well. It's almost getting an orange look in its newest picture. Nice reddish. So this is with Alardi, and it's genome which Andrani. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Alardi. So this is Loei Vichii Bashiana to LVB X Andrani Burburgity. Oh, that could be good with stripes, but I don't see any stripes developing. But it's also pretty small, so some plants get faded stripes later. But whatever the case, I really hope it kind of pulls off from the Andriani red coloring, because I do quite like that plant. I have yet to find a pure specimen of that. I would love one. It is related to Spatulata, or is at least a closer relation. I remember they were labeled as a variant species for now, but it was called Andrani officially, I believe. Anyway, that's the collection so far, end of January. I'm going to go on a slug hunt and probably kill it when I find it, because I'm malicious that way. But you know, I do have a reason for not liking slugs, so I think it's valid to not want slugs in here. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well this end of January, and you know, things keep going well for everybody and myself. That's my hope. I do have a bid on a plant on Flora. I'm doubtful I'll win it, but if I do, I'll post something that if I get one and or it comes in. So far, I haven't had any plans to add any more into the collection. I kind of am pretty packed for room, but this was a tinier plant, so I was thinking I could stick it in, you know, a small slot in here. Anyway, that'll be all. Trevor out. Best of luck, and see you all in February.